All right, let's start. Leilui Nishmas, David Ben Shimon Ve'Esther. Good morning, everyone. Here you go. Yesterday we began this beautiful journey into learning the depth of this mitzvah of Ahavat Israel. We saw something that is pretty much not a chiddush, but it was a good reminder that love is work, and love is not just this emotion that either you have it or you don't have it. We think we understand what it means if you have Ahavas Yisrael, to love, that we could say we love Am Yisrael, but it takes a lot, and it takes a lot of learning inside to the nature of what this really means. What does Ahavat Yisrael really mean? And we saw some beautiful things yesterday. We saw how the Rambam defines it, how he speaks about if you have any form of gaining anything from the shame in another Jew, any level of it, the Rambam doesn't just say it's an Aveira. His words were, you have no place, you have no share in the world to come. It's crazy. What we're going to be doing today is, before we go into this ma'amar of the Tzemach Tzedek, the third Rabbi in Lubavitch, we discussed that he has a beautiful ma'amar from this Sefer Derech Mitzvotecha. The mitzvah of Ahavat Yisrael, he goes into it deep inside. Today we're going to see the Hakdama to this ma'amar. We're not going to see the whole ma'amar inside, but we're going to see pieces of it, and it'll shed a lot of light as to what the actual work is and what we're supposed to be busy doing, how to connect to this mitzvah of Ahavat Yisrael in such a beautiful way. So if you look inside, we'll start right away in the Hakdama. The Tzemach Tzedek says like this. This is the Hakdama to the Tzemach Tzedek's Maimar. It says like this. את הטעם הפנימי והעמוק שבמצוות אהבת ישראל, שהיא הכלל הגדול בתורה, ויתרה מכך, היא כל התורה כולה, מבאר המאמר שלפנינו הנחלק לשני פרקים. The deeper taste, in Hebrew the word ta'am can mean reason, and it could also mean ta'am, the taste. The deeper taste and reason for the mitzvah of Ahavat Yisrael, which we know is a klal gadol b'Torah, and it's even more than that, like the Gemara in Shabbos, it's actually the whole Torah kula. It's brought down in the ma'amar before it. Like, again, not just is it a klal gadol b'Torah, it's kol Torah kula. It's the whole Torah itself, the mitzvah of Ahavat Yisrael. We're going to see in this ma'amar, it's divided into two separate parts. בפרק הראשון מבאר את האחדות הנדרשת מאיתנו כתנאי הכרחי לתפילה. In the first chapter, he explains the achdus, the necessary achdus that's demanded from us as a tnai hechrechi letfilah. This is very, very brilliant. This is very, very. It's okay. They had not. It's a test for us right now. Obviously, they had not. They just don't. They didn't realize we were learning. That's why they were that. It's okay. Everything's good. He's saying over here, in the first part of this maimar, he will be explaining to us the necessary achdus that's demanded of us as a tnai, as a tnai hechrechi l'tfilah. Meaning, if you want to daven, if you want to pray, there is a condition. There is a clear prerequisite. Now he said, now we're going to get into the depth of davening. You want to begin to understand mitzvahs Ahavat Yisrael? Let's go inside the heart of davening itself. התפילה היא עבודת השם המקבילה לעבודת העלת הקורבנות בבית המקדש. Davening is this godly service. What is it? How do you say makbil? Aligned? Parallel to what? We all know it's parallel to the korbanos. ונשלמה פרים שפתינו. כל קורבן לפני שעלה למזבח עבר תחילה בדיקה קפדנית מאוד, לבל יימצא בו מום שיפסול אותו miliyot korban. Every single sack, that's mamish freaking me out. Every single no, because we're talking about korbanos, you're taking out your knife and your kol korban. I'm so honest, such ahavas Yisrael here, we just say exactly what's on our heart, right? Kol korban, every single korban, before it was put on the mizbeach, it went through a thorough check to make sure that there was absolutely no blemish which would disqualify it from being a korban. We know that if there was any problem, any moment in the korban, you couldn't bring the korban to Hashem. You couldn't do it. You could have put all your hopes in this korban. If there's any type of blemish in it, it's not complete. You can't bring that korban. What's another thing about the korban? The korban had to go up on its own, up on the ramp. If the korban itself wasn't going up on the ramp, but it was staying to the side, it means he couldn't bring that korban either. Because it had to be mamish, there had to be shleimus in it. It had to go with complete will. There had to be some kind of a sense of a shleimut. Now he says here something beautiful. Milvad b'dikat shleimut korban, aside just from checking how the korban itself, the sacrifice is okay and healthy and complete, and it's blemish-free. Gam ha-kohen ha-makriv haya nivdak ad shenimtza shegam hu haya shalem. The one bringing the korban up, which is the kohen, the one sacrificing, he had to go through a thorough checkup as well to make sure there's absolutely no blemish in him as well, in order to make the korban being brought before HaKadosh Baruch Hu. כמו שכתוב, איש מזרעך לדורות. It's brought, like it says, it should be this union of tmimus. There should be absolute tmimus with the ratzon of the korban. So what is he saying? So what did we just say right now? If our davening right now is what? Just is a parallel to tefillat, to korbanot. Let's learn inside. We have to remind ourselves what was the korban? How did you bring a korban? So you had to have this union of the korban itself being blemish-free, and the person bringing the korban being blemish-free. Now, lemaisa for us, okay, without continuing inside, what would you say is the learning that we could already start to derive from this in terms of our davening?
So, if I'm bringing the korban, I'm davening, I'm the kohen, so I have to be straight.
What does that mean? You have to be together.
I have to be, I guess.
No, but it's good. Shalem. What does it mean? What does it mean that you have to be shalem? That the kohen, the davener, has to be shalem. That's exactly what we're going to be learning today. Eli's right. We have to be shalem. And he's saying over here that this is for the mitzvah of Ahavat Israel, you have to learn it through davening. But in order to daven, I have to have shleimut inside of me. So what type of shleimut is he speaking about?
It's being like at peace and certainly focused.
Okay, let's see if that's where he takes it to. Focused. Yashrut. My eyes on the target.
I think it's shalom, also shalom. If you're not at peace with yourself and with the people around you, and here we're talking about Ahavat Yisrael.
Ahavat Yisrael.
Ahavat Yisrael, right. And how are you going to be able to approach the king? How can you do that? Thank you for making me part of this nation, and I hate half the people around me.
That's why Shlomo says that peace is the one thing that you can't daven, that it should just fall down on you. Everything else, it could be a singular personal tefillah, like refuah, I need refuah. This person needs refuah. Parnasa, this person needs parnasa. Yishuv Adas, it could be on, I could say, bring it onto me. But you can't say, Sim, Shalom Tov, Avracha, Ribbon Shleim, bring peace onto me. But, it means nothing to me if my neighbors are affected by this or not. Peace in its essence is an inyan, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael.
There are two types of this korban yachid. As a korban tzibur, all our davening is in plural. So we're
Right.
talking about korban tzibur.
Right, absolutely. Okay, so next paragraph. And this is such a beautiful, I want to learn this Hakdama, it really touched my heart. It's so simple the way this Chavra and Chabad wrote these things up, and it'll be a great way to then go into the actual learning of the text of the Ma'amar. כשם שבקורבנות ניתן להקריב רק כאשר יש שלמות בקורבן ובכהן המקריב, just on the korbanos and the sacrifices itself, you can only bring forth the sacrifice when there's this concept of shlemus in the sacrifice and in the kohen who's bringing it forth. כך צריכה להיות שלמות רוחנית בנפשו של האדם החפץ להזכרב לקדוש ברוך הוא על ידי התפילה. There needs to be this shlemut ruchanit benafsho shel adam. This spiritual sense of shlemut, of completion, in a person's soul when he's coming to daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shlemus zu. So what is this shlemus? What does it mean to really be complete?
Shush people in shul if we're understanding this to be what it is.
Well, first do an exercise. Let's do loving shush. Check it out.
I've never heard anybody shush somebody before. Never. It's more like daggers being thrown across.
Sometimes in shul I daven to Hashem. Half my davening is Hashem. Let me come up with the sweetest, most loving vort to get people to mama shut up. This half my davening is just in the sweetest way. I don't know. You have to come up with really good tactics. I don't know, but it's got to be out of, even that has to be out of love. But he's saying, look, you can still daven like that, but there won't be shleimut ruchanit in your nefesh, and then something's lacking in the korban, or in the makriv of the korban. The one who's doing the sacrifice.
Or both.
For sure, yeah, or both. Shleimut zo inam nitenet להשגה אם האדם מטיל דופי אפילו באחד מישראל. Why? Now, why is this? Why is this Indian? Why is this true? That there's something, if there's even a little bit that I have with someone, then my davening is not b'shleimus. This is true. Mishum, וזאת משום שכולנו סוד גוף אחד. Now this is already the Arizal, which we'll get into the Ma'amar. The Arizal says, really, if you want to learn about Am Yisrael, you'll learn that we're all Sod Guf Echad. We are all one body. And this is what the Ma'amar will all be about. Getting connected to the mitzvah of Ahavat Yisrael is learning deep inside the emes of us being one big body. One large body. Not just those of us that were here before and that we're on the heels, is that whoever is in Am Yisrael right now, we're all limbs, part of the same body. And when you treat it like that, and when you begin looking at the concept of Yisrael, Ahavat Yisrael, Ahavat Abriel, loving people that you're in a shul with, as he might be my pinky, I might be his toe, something's different. Because then, I really don't look at him as an outsider, and I don't see us as two separate units. I see us as part of one larger unit. And the whole Ma'amar is going to be based on these words of the Arizal, Sod Guf Echad, the secret of understanding that we all are one body. Kfi she'yitber b'Ma'amar, like it'll be explained in the discourse. כאשר נמצא דופי באחד מהאיברים הרוחניים של האדם, שוב הוא אינו יכול לעלות למעלה. So what is he saying? When I find some kind of a blemish in one of my spiritual limbs, in my body, I can't ascend, because that limb which I see as blemished is keeping me down. You think I can go up while he stays, and that he stays down? There's no such thing. There's no such thing. How's that? It's wondrous and beautiful, and also so painful at the same time. So painful. Because I want to bring a korban that's shalom. I want to bring a korban that's really complete, but, and this is it, this is the ruach of Chabad throughout all the generations, is that if I really do believe what the Arizal says, that we're all like one body, how do I think that, like what, my left arm will be able to fly up to Shamayim, but my right arm, which is blemished, will just stay down here? There's no such thing.
Are we talking about the way we think about all the other Jews in the world, or how they actually are living their life? Because if it's how we think about them, then we have some chance at trying to make peace with how we think of everybody else. But if it's where they actually are right now, not how we think about them, but where they are, then we have no chance.
So what do you think?
Well, Chabad doesn't accept where they are.
Exactly.
It's not the reality. Where they are is not where
Exactly.
they are.
Reb Shlomo.
Maybe it's a mixture of the two. They judge them positively, and they also try to...
Well, that's a Breslov approach, meaning saying that when you look at someone, this is Hazamra, when you look at someone with eyes of Kav Schuz, he's saying it's not just that you did a nice mitzvah. You actually, they're drawn to, now their way of life will be drawn to the way and manner in which you look at them. That's what Reb Nachman is saying. When you look at them with those eyes, it's not just that you did a mitzvah, you became holy. You elevated them. Because now they believe, if that guy's looking at me like that, maybe that could be me. What do you want to say, Tom?
No, I think maybe that's the key to the Shalom, is that you got to lock into that moment, especially with davening. Like, I was just interested you say it, because today I had it.
Really?
It's only today. I mean, other times you come in here, you're all over the place,
Right.
and distractions, but you can lock in, basically, and take out everything from the outside and lock into what it is, and then you become one with that,
Yeah.
with everything.
Do you remember how you did that?
Huh?
Do you remember how you did that?
No. Not
Uh-huh.
at all. But
So-
it doesn't happen all the time.
Right.
Today I actually had it, but I can't remember the last time I had it.
But I think
because everything just, you know, people coming in and out, this whole peripheral thing. I think it's getting into the. I think by the way you look at people and the way you adapt to people, it's the same.
Right.
It's the same principle.
so. For
You can't look at the outside.
we need you to remember how you got there.
No.
Yes, we need you to remember the how.
Really?
Yeah, because it's not. It's a beautiful thing what you're sharing, but I want to get to what
What
you.
if it's just like a quality time, quantity time thing? You only get those moments when you put in all of the effort, and then Hashem just gives it to you. What if it wasn't?
Let's see if that's what it is. I don't know. But right now we're just coming to like stating like facts, okay? Like spiritual facts about the Sod Guf Echad, the secret of us being one body, and that without a shlemus in the body, don't think that you could fly up while the others are down there.
Only Hashem can make the peace.
Sorry?
Only Hashem makes it.
That's a cop-out.
It's not a cop-out, it's just we have to put in the work, but ultimately...
I know, but when you say only Hashem, what do we do usually with that statement? We say...
The ultimate.
Right. So I'm saying for le'inyan avoda, that statement is a cop-out because I can lean on that always. I could always, like, that's my crutch to say, does it really matter how high I try? At the end of the day, I could always lean back on that. It's true, of course, it's a gift at the end.
Right.
But if my avoda is this, then at least I know that I'm coming to shul and I'm bringing a korban. What happens with that afterwards? You're right, only Hashem, right? But my job isn't to see how it'll be received. My job is how will it be given. And that's what I have to work on in davening. My thing is not how will it be received. I have nothing to do with results. Nothing. My job is what avodah am I putting into the hagasha, into bringing forth the sacrifice. And here he's giving us instructions on how to bring forth the sacrifice, and he's saying there's no way that if you're not tuned into the mitzvah of Ahavat Yisrael, you have no idea what it means. You might have been going to shul your whole life, and you have no idea what you're doing in there, and why you think. You have no concept of how to bring a korban. You have no concept of how to daven.
We need to start singing Haman Makabal every day
What's that?
before we die.
Well, that's part of the Ma'amar actually, is that he explains thoroughly as to why did the Arizal say that you have to say those words before davening.
It's great we do it on Shabbos, but
Yeah, but even on Shabbos it's just become a nigun.
no.
I think so. I think even to a certain extent, I think we have to remember it's not just a nigun. It's a kavanah. It's a kavanah. We'll get there.
It's not just a nigga for me.
Good. No, I was talking about myself. Not about you.
I'm saying, but so there are others. That's wrong.
Al pi, third paragraph. Al pi kisvei Arizal, nitan la'asik shleimus zu kodem atfila. According to the Arizal, you can be masig, meaning to grasp this level of shleimus before davening, al yedei kach she'adam mekabel al atzmo mitzvah sasei shel ahavta arecha kamocha. When you actively take upon yourself. So Dov, you're right. It's mamish, hopefully not a nigun. Hareini mekabel alai. If you say those words with kavanah, it means I'm actively doing something to myself right now. I'm taking upon myself the mitzvah to say, Shavav lecha kamocha, klomar, le'ehov kol yehudi kfishu, loving every Jew where they're at, as they are. Al ma'alotav u'migreotav. This answers your question. I love them for where they're at right now. Do I want them to go higher with me? Absolutely. There's more of a chance of them leaving their bad paths by me loving them than by me pointing out what's wrong with them. So loving them where they're at right now, and if we now ishbitz this piece, we would say, and also loving myself where I am right now. It's like we're talking about everyone else where they're at, right? I love them even though they're not doing to kamocha. I love myself despite the fact that I know that last night I was up to no good. And I pray that I could fix that. But don't think you could love the other guys where he's at in a low way if you can't love yourself where you're at right now in a low way either. That won't work. Ahava zo efsharit, this love is only possible רק כאשר יסוד המציאות שלנו הוא כל ישראל אחים ממש. So powerful. Saying this love is only possible when the foundation of our reality, is that look at 10 on the bottom, it's from the Tanya, Perek Lamed Beis, the 32nd chapter in Tanya says, Kol Yisrael Achim Mamash. Now, when the Alter Rebbe says the word mamash, so in Lubavitch they go on drushas upon drushas as to why the Alter Rebbe used this word mamash, right? So, just al derech tzchok, some say mamash is Rashi Tevas. You know the Rashi Tevas of mamash? Menachem Mendel Schneerson. I'm sure there's something to it. But and the Rebbe that we're learning the Sicha from, the Maimar from, remember I told you yesterday, the third Rebbe in Lubavitch, he's known as the Tzemach Tzedek. His name was Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson the first. He was the Rebbe's great grandfather. But when he says the word mamash, it's not like shir mamish so gewalt. It means like it's a literal thing. It's for real. You really are one body. It's not like this thing that's stam. You really, really, really are one body.
Well, he didn't say you're one body. He said Kodesh Achim Mamash. Two brothers aren't one body. They are two bodies that are brothers.
Not spiritually. When you're brothers mamash, you're connecting to the sod guf echad of the Arizal. That you really are one body. Yeah.
You're encased in two, what appear to be two separate bodies, but you carry the same DNA. Your mamish the same thing, which is like two grapes of you really are the same,
right?
But you're separated by skin, flesh, and bones. But that's not really the deep DNA. The spiritual DNA is the same, much the same.
Well, I don't want to be annoying here, but two brothers, one could have cancer, one could not. They have different DNA. They are different people.
On one level.
I don't think it's like just semantics.
So I'm not saying in the same sense that you were saying before that at the Korban, at some level God does everything, right? But on one level, we're still in the level of space and time that we live in. We are separate, but this is focused on the higher level. I think.
Right. Of course it is.
DNA is a physical thing.
Right.
So you're talking about
Spiritual DNA. Right.
I'm using physical language also to describe because that's what we have to.
Maybe subconsciously this could be like the inherent passion of fire that the more Haredim are fighting against reform. Maybe is because we want to keep the body shalom, and now there's such confusion regarding who's a Jew and who's not a Jew. So we don't even know, we don't even understand anymore if this is applicable, who it's applicable to or not, because we know that there are definitely very, very, very precious and sweet people in the Reform Chevra. Some of my best friends but the concept of being part of the same body gets very tricky because we know that they're not halachically Jewish. You could love them till tomorrow. You could learn with them day and night. It's not. We're just saying something very pashut. The way we understand Torah is that it just could be they're just not part of that same body. So it becomes a little bit. Maybe that's where it's from. I don't know. That there's such a, I'm not justifying for 1 second hatred. Just to be clear. Chas v'shalom. I pray to never be part of hating other people, ever.
You're trying to understand where this.
Like spiritually speaking, I'm saying why is there such intense feelings towards a certain group? Where does it? I'm saying maybe I don't know. I'm trying to do kav schus right now. I'm getting. I don't know.
This is a major deal right now too. This crossroads.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody. I guess we're talking to you, Efrat, or something. How are we going to deal with this? And especially in light of this.
Yeah. No. It's very confusing.
To wrap your head around this stuff with the situation that's going on now.
Yeah. No, it's very, very complicated, and that's why the Rebbe, he never interfered with internal Israeli politics, besides one time. The only time is when they passed a law in the Knesset called Mihu Yehudi, who is a Jew. Did anyone ever learn about this? If you learn any of the in the Knesset, I forget it was in the 60s. I forget when it was. They were trying to pass the law of who is a Jew, who's considered a Jew. Well, because there's all these ramifications of right of return and all these things that have to do with the rest of domestic policy, I guess. So the Rebbe was the only time he ever got himself into internal Israeli politics and was fiercely, it was almost as if he was living he was a Chaver Knesset, member of Knesset. Everything else you could kind of figure out and work with. Here, when you're messing with the Sod Guf Echad, it's a bad scene. It's a bad scene. I remember it happens to us all the time there. People that really feel like they're Jewish and they're so connected to Yiddishkeit. They really are. Out of a place of love, how do you tell them, look, come join for real. It's such a delicate, I would never want to be in someone, it's such a crazy thing. Very, very, very nerve-wracking how to approach this in a loving way. But why is it so important? Because of the Sod Guf Echad. Now, the last line in this third paragraph, Ahavat beinenu, the love between us, Hi ruach hachaim shelanu, that is the spirit of our life. Ve'achut hakosher otanu lakadosh baruch hu. This is the string that attaches us to Hashem. Ve'rak kach nishmat v'mitkabelet tfilatenu beratzon. It is only through this is our davening received and heard with ratzon, with will. Through what? Through being aware, conscious, and about that this love, we're mamish dependent on this love. We can't get it together alone. We can only get it together. We can't get it together alone. It just won't. It's impossible. It won't work. But a Jew has to be very, very aware of the fact that this love is what really is the chut hamekasher. And if I know that that's the way that my davening gets received, I have to do whatever I can to understand how do you love Am Yisrael and what does it mean to love Am Yisrael. And it's not enough just to say, okay, I'm going to start judging people favorably. There's something deeper, and that's what we're here for. Yeah, Eli.
It's great that it's
yeah. Yeah. You know, in Chabad, if you ever been to, we used to have this on our refrigerator. They sell in Chabad bookstores, Perek Lamed Bet, this Perek, the 32nd chapter that speaks about this Indian in depth. So they sell it as like separate units of magnets on walls and on refrigerators. Kids have this Perek next to their bed. It's beautiful. Like children are growing up with this being a mitzvah. What did he call it before? Yesod HaMetziut, the foundation of their reality. Like, I want my children's foundation of their Yiddishkeit to be Perek Lamed Bet in Tanya, to be the 32nd chapter in Tanya. That this is a real thing. Sod Guf Echad. Kol Yisrael Achim Mamash. That's what I want my children to really grow up with as the foundation of their mitzvahs, just like they know that they have to get up in the morning and say Modeh Ani, and the same token I want them to know that this is real. And in Chabad they do this. They really do this. Okay, Mesaper Rabbi Rayatz. We'll just go a few more minutes. The Frierdiker Rebbe says like this: the Rayatz was Rabbi Yosef Yitzchak Shneisen Nishmas Eden, is the sixth Rebbe, the father-in-law of the Rebbe. V'sha'alti et hod kvod kedushat avi ha'admor Rav Kadosh. I asked the glory, holiness of my father. That's how we all refer to our fathers, right? I asked His Royal Highness. I asked my father, who was his father? His father was the fifth Rebbe in Lubavitch, the Rebbe Rashab. I asked my father, Basidur katuv, it says in the Siddur, Nachon lomar kodem atfilah, hareini mekabel alay mitzvat aseh shel ve'ahavta l'recha kamocha. It says, it's right to say the tefillah, that I accept upon myself the mitzvah aseh shel ve'ahavta l'recha kamocha, to say this before davening. So he asks, Madua ze katuv lifnei atfilah dafka? Why dafka only before I pray? Ima ahavat Israel tzcha להיות מועד הבוקר, היו צריכים לקבוע זאת יחד עם ברכות השחר. If loving Yidden should be right away in the morning, first thing in the morning, then when Arizal says this, it should be said immediately when you say Birkos HaShachar. Now for many of us,
Especially if it's a Chabadnik.
right, that's what I wanted to emphasize here. For many of us, like, what's the difference? I say Birkos HaShachar and then I go right into davening. No. A chassid says Birkos HaShachar, then he has to go to the mikvah, then he has to learn for a while, then he has to give tzedakah, if he's a breastfeeder, he has to do his bodhidus, and then he starts davening. So there's like a distance in time over here. He's saying, really, and I start davening 9, 10 o'clock, and I say, Hareini mekabel alay mitzvah shavavta kamocha, then he's saying his father, really, I should say that right away when I wake up in the morning, immediately. Hod kvod kedushat avi admor Rav Kadosh anali. My father answered me like this. When a father has many children, and this is so beautiful, when does he have most pleasure? When he sees that his children get along with each other. And you all know that nothing pains parents more when they see that there's a sibling hatred or rivalry. That when parents see that two of their children don't talk to each other, it could latrif lem et hadat. It could make them insane. That brings upon them more pain than if, like, even their kids went off the derech.
Well, and the opposite is true too. When you see your kids playing beautifully and getting along, there's nothing higher.
So that's exactly the words. Ikara ta'anug shelo, the ikar of his pleasure. Kshero'eh ksekulan ba'achdut, when you see your children playing. Give you an example. Yesterday, my two older girls were fighting. Yes, it happens. It actually happened. They were fighting yesterday. One ran into the other room crying. She doesn't care about me, this and that. And it's painful when you see, they feel, she's the meanest sister in the world ever. And when they say that, even though you know it's just a moment and you don't take it that literally, but there's a pain inside, right? And one of them went to have a sleepover with a friend last night. And before she left, so she couldn't leave the house, she had to come back inside twice to hug her sister before she left. Do you think I need to go to the mikveh this morning? I'm telling you, it was an eineg, a pleasure from another world I can't describe. But I'm sure you, each of you that have been privileged to bring children to the world know exactly what I'm talking about. So his father answers him, that's when a father has most pleasure, when he sees his children getting along with each other and loving each other. And then he continues, bottom line, Tfilah hi arei bakashat tzrachav. Davening is a moment of asking for your needs. Hen tzrachim gashmiim, turn the page, vehen tzrachim ruchaniim, whether it's physical needs or spiritual needs. Hinei lifnei bakasha tzrachim lasot nachat ruach laavinu b'shamayim. Before you ask anything from God, you have to bring Hashem nachas. It's like, Abba, you look so beautiful today. Okay, what do you want? Those kind of things, right? לכן יש לקבל מצוות עשה של אהבת ישראל לפני התפילה דווקא. So therefore, dafka, before davening, before you're going to come and pour out your heart and ask for whatever you ask for, is that you have to, what's the bribery chip? But he's saying it can't be a fake. It's got to be something real. But he's saying the only way to get Abba to say, of course you need this, take this, is when he sees that his children are getting along, because that brings him the most pleasure, more than anything else in the world. That brings the Ribono Shel Olam most pleasure.
I was thinking more about the fact that up until you go into shul, you kind of are
alone,
more on your own.
Right.
You enter
I was thinking that too.
That's really the time.
I was mamish thinking that too. Saying and maybe we could discuss that for a second, is that when I'm alone and there's no one around me to say, I'm definitely loving Yidden, it's like taking upon yourself a diet while you're fasting. It's no chokhmah, right? It's the same thing. You start dieting when does it really count? When it's right in front of you, right? So the same thing, taking upon yourself mitzvahs, avas, Yisrael. It's all you. It's alone saying Birkas HaShachar. You're by the window, looking at the road. Oh, I love the road. You don't have any interaction with anybody, so it's so easy right then and there. But then you come to shul, and that guy that comes a little bit later, that guy that walks in reminding you of certain things, then it's when it matters. So I really connect to what you're saying, very, very much. I think it's very right on. Yeah. All right, let's go. Can we go a few more minutes?
Yeah.
Now we're just going to finish this. בחלקו השני של המאמר, in the second part of this discourse, מבאר את תוכן המעשה המובא בתלמוד מסכת Shabbos. The second piece of this discourse is discussing the famous story which happens in the Gemara in the tractate of Shabbos, על גר שבא לפני הלל הזקן כדי שיגייר אותו וילמד אותו את כל התורה כולה כשהוא עומד על רגל אחת. About the convert that comes before Hillel the elder, asking him to convert him, teaching him the whole Torah while he's standing on one foot. Amar lo Hillel HaZaken, what did Hillel HaZaken answer him? Da'alayich sani l'chavarcha lo tavid. What's hatred upon you, don't do to your friend. By the way, Karduner has an amazing, you know which song this is? He has with these words, Kol ma shesanui alecha, al ta'aseh lechavercha. Beautiful song. If you want to get into this spirit of what Hillel HaZaken said, Karduner has a great song with these words. Kol ma shesanui alecha, al ta'aseh lechavercha. Whatever is hated upon you, don't do to your friend. And the Gemara says that's basically him teaching him Kol HaTorah Kula. And there's been a lot written upon this, and we've heard this story many times. But other than being able to quote that at a Shabbos table, what is this story really telling us? תשובתו של הלל הזקן מלמדת אותנו כי מצוות אהבת ישראל היא כל התורה כולה. The answer, Hillel HaZaken, is really telling us that this really is, the mitzvah of Avas Yisrael, really is the whole Torah Kula. What does that mean? האומנם כך? Could that be so? לכאורה נראה לומר שמצוות אהבת ישראל היא כללות כל המצוות שבין אדם לחברו. אך מדוע היא כל התורה כולה? I can understand if the mitzvah of Avas Yisrael is basically the whole Torah of Ben Adam L'Chavero. But how can I say that mitzvah's Avas Yisrael is also the whole Torah of Ben Adam L'Makom? You understand the question? Does everyone understand that? Jeremy, you get that? Pashut, right? Simple. כיצד מצוות third line, כיצד מצוות שבין אדם למקום, כגון מצוות תפילין, או איסור אכילת בשר בחלב, נכללים במצוות אהבת ישראל? How could it be that mitzvahs that are between man and man, like how could it be that mitzvahs that are between man and Hashem, like the mitzvah of tefillin, or not eating milk and meat, how are they encompassed and included in the mitzvah of Avas Yisrael? Good question. It's me and Hashem. I could love you and not put on tefillin in the morning. I can love you to death, to life, and eat a cheeseburger. מה הקשר? אלא שעל פי המבואר בתורת הקבלה, but according to what's written in Kabbalah, אחד היסודות של התורה ומצוות, one of the principles and the foundations of the Torah and mitzvahs is שכאשר יהודי מקיים מצווה, when a Jew does a mitzvah, נוצר ייחוד בין הקדוש ברוך הוא לנשמת ישראל. There is a unification, there is some kind of a tie that takes place between Hashem and the neshamas of Am Yisrael. ונמשך אור אין סוף בעולמנו. And that light that was created is drawn down into the world, and it's shed up and spread upon us. This is basic Kabbalah, it's basic Hasidus. Mitzvahs have an effect on the way that I live my life down here. It draws down from that Or HaGanus, from that infinite eternal light, which God created in the creation of the world, and then He hid it away, and we draw that light down every time I do a mitzvah. ומאחר שבמצב של הפך אהבת ישראל נוצר פירוד בין נשמת ישראל לקדוש ברוך הוא. But in a reality which is the opposite of Avas Yisrael, that creates a separation between Nishmas Yisrael and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That divides, that pulls away what the mitzvah did. A lack of Avas Yisrael makes that kesher go away. V'nitak chuta mekasher. This chuta mekasher, this string which connects it, becomes disconnected. Harei shenimna meitanu lehamshich al yedei kiyum haTorah v'mitzvot et kol ha'amshachot haruchaniyot. What's being prevented from us to keep on doing through the keeping of the Torah and mitzvahs is all the spiritual hamshachot, all the spiritual drawing down. I can't do it anymore. What does that mean? What is he saying over here? Does anyone understand what he said? What happens when I do a mitzvah? When I do a mitzvah, I make, there's a yichud between me and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Not just me. Nishmot Yisrael. It's not just on me. It's on others as well. Now, how strong is that kesher? Well, it's really dependent on how long the kesher between the shamas takes place. But the more that I'm divided and I don't love mitzvahs Avas Yisrael, then maybe you could say that I do mitzvahs, but they only come down on what? Maybe just on me. But it's not doing what it's supposed to do, which is to come down on everybody. Is that how you understood it?
Yeah, so you disrupt the shefa. Right? The link between people is gone, so it can't flow. It's like you put a dam in two sides of the river.
Right. Pashut. מתוך כך, now we can understand, יובן מדוע מצוות אהבת ישראל היא כל התורה כולה. Now we can understand why the mitzvah of אהבת ישראל is the whole Torah, ושעל ידי קיומה זוכים לכל הברכות וההשפעות מהבורא. And that through keeping it, we merit all the brachas and the hashpahas from the Boreh, from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Meaning, I think what he's saying over here is like this. Again, the question was, we said that the mitzvah of Avas Yisrael is kol Torah kula. We can understand that statement if we're just referring to mitzvahs ben adam l'chavero. That makes sense. But why should the mitzvahs that between me and Hashem kind of be kalul in the mitzvah of Avas Yisrael? So we have to understand what a mitzvah is. What does a mitzvah do? A mitzvah brings down shefa on and connection on all of Am Yisrael. But the more, any mitzvah, not just the mitzvahs that ben adam l'chavero, any mitzvah, like the mitzvah of basa b'chalav, the mitzvah of tefillin, any personal mitzvah that you think is just between you and Hashem has direct effect on the klal. If you really care for Yidden, and if you really love Yidden, you'll do every single mitzvah you can, because why? Everyone benefits from it.
Is that true even if there's no kavanah on behalf of the person that's doing the mitzvah?
No, then there's a problem. What's the problem? We said it in the beginning. There's a mum in the makriv. There's a blemish in the one that's bringing it forth. And we said that that's true about davening, right? Then there's a little sugya, do mitzvahs need kavanah or not? That's a very, very complicated sugya. Do you have to have kavanah in order to be yotzei to fill a mitzvah?
This week's parsha, I remember learning it last year. I can't remember who speaks about the nachas ruach that in this week's parsha, that there's seven mitzvahs that
it's very clear. Yeah, I remember it.
To the nachas ruach, and that bring nachas ruach.
Right.
With nachas ruach, it's Hashem looking down at his kids and
right.
with that nachas.
Like, for instance, in the korbanos that are Parshas Pinchas, so what does it always say about korbanos? Olahu ishei reyach michoach laHashem. Exactly. Pinchas, it says what he did brought a tremendous nachas ruach to HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
If you think about going to visit the different tzaddikim, you can feel the light being spread as they're pulling.
Right. So why? Because tzaddikim are when they're doing mitzvahs, they're saying really b'shem kol Yisrael. They're very conscious of the fact that what they're doing has effect on all of Am Yisrael, and they're doing it with the kavana that all of Am Yisrael should be included in what I'm doing. Now, I just want to say, you don't have to be a tzaddik to have that consciousness when you do a mitzvah. You know, before there's certain mitzvahs, Chassidim are very big. L'shem yichud kudsha b'richu shchinte b'tchil v'chmiyu li'achad shemidu kevalke b'yichud hashlim b'shem kol Yisrael. That I'm conscious of the fact that right now we're learning here right now, and I'm sure we're hoping that, you know, we could learn something from here. We could be transformed from this learning, and that this could bring light into our houses, and hopefully have a bit more shalom bayis or whatever it is. But nothing stops us right now from saying that the learning that we're doing right now should really be b'shem kol Yisrael. Don't get caught up in the look what I'm doing. I'm worrying about. I'm taking care of everybody. No, it's a tefillah that what we're doing right now should have. And what are we doing right now? Are we learning right now about other people? We're sitting here before HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and this has direct effect on all of Am Yisrael. Ahavat Yisrael, bottom paragraph. Ahavat Yisrael amitit, real Avas Yisrael. Kazo she'ena tluya b'davar, love which isn't dependent on anything. He kayom tzav hasha'a, is today. Tzav hasha'a means, it's, you know what a tzav is, right? The commandment of the hour, meaning, Yidden, this is where we're at today. This is a tzav hasha'a. It's like saying, the Rebbe told us, this is what needs to be done today.
Unconditional love.
What Avas Yisrael Amitit, yeah, real Avas. This inyan is really what needs to be done today, and we could have learned this any day of the year, but specifically during the 3 weeks, this is what needs to be realized. It's a tzav hasha'a. Behitachdut kulanu niske levatel et sibat hagalut sheba beikvot sinat chinam. With achdus, and achdus really means tuning into the sod guf echad. Not just knowing that it's a good idea to love Yidden, but to be conscious and aware of the fact that I'm part of the same body. Kulanu niske levatel et sibat hagalut. We will merit to nullify the reason of the exile. Sheba b'ikvot sinat chinam, which the reason was sinat chinam. V'niske levarchenu avinu kulanu ke'echad be'or panecha, and will merit that which we say every single Well, for Sfardim, every single Shmona Esrei, even Sfard, Barcheinu Avinu Kulanu Ke'echad Be'or Panecha. Bless us, our Father, all of us, as one. We say that all the time. Now we have a little bit of an understanding. Barcheinu Avinu Kulanu Ke'echad. When you bless us, let us taste more what it means to be part of Sod Guf Echad, Be'or Panecha, in the light of your face. Begeula Ha'amitit V'ashtema Be'korav Mamash. So they always end off with the full and emes dika geula, Be'korav Mamash. It should be really, really nearly soon, speedily in our days. So this is like tapping in a bit more. We're going a little bit more into this inyan, and I really, really am excited to go into this concept of raising our awareness to Sod Guf Echad. To me, I think that's going to be our way of not just knowing that it's right to love Yidden, but to feeling that it's right. To love Yidden because it's really part of the same body. Jeremy.
Just to bring this to an Eitzah of like how do we practically do this. So I remember a while back I was listening to a show from Dr. And he was talking about the show, Sha'achat Shorim Lifnei Tefillah.
Right.
And he said that, in Al-Qiyamah, there's like parts you can skip if you're late in davening. You can like say Ashrei and then Yishtabach. Like just to go through and skip through that. He says, but the Shehiyah, you're not allowed to skip on that. Meaning, that is the Ikar HaTefillah. I mean, if you're late, sit for 15 minutes in Shehiyah, and then you can, this is an awesome thing to add to the Shehiyah Lifnei Tefillah. But I don't exactly know what to do. Meaning, what is the actual practice here? Meaning, the Shehiyah that I just to try leave all the stuff outside, the to-dos, all the scatterbrain ADHD that I have, just to bring it to a place of focus, so that I benefit especially when I'm davening. But this would be like an emotional thing to bring in of Ahavat Yisrael. What's the tikkun here? What's the actual eitzah of what to do?
In Chabad, it's very simple. Alter Rebbe says this. It's learning inside. It's not shehiyah of meditation. For Chabad, it's not meditation. They call it hisbonenus, which means contemplation. The way a Yid contemplates in hisbonenus is only from places of divrei Elokim Chaim, from words of the living God, that's another reference to the words of Musar that Alter Rebbe calls Chassidus. He says it's Musar. But I would learn every time, for this as an eitzah, I would learn inside something that has to do with the mitzvah of Ahavas Yisrael. Before, to arouse an emotion. Not to wait for it to get there, because when we go to that zone, a lot of things come up that we don't want to come up. So we have a way. We don't just sit there like this. The sheyah probably today would be go inside and learn something that will then bring about. To me, if I learn before I daven, my davening is something else. When I don't have time to learn before I daven, it's not the same.
Learn anything.
Learn anything, but not learn Shakespeare. I'm saying learning. You mean Torah? Anything? Yeah. But I'm saying. But Jeremy's saying, okay, so what am I going to choose to learn? Something that will makasha me to be able to say, Hareini mekabel alai mitzvah saseh shel v'ahavta l'recha kamocha. Tanya seems to me to be the thing that really keeps on driving this inyan home. Kimat throughout the whole Tanya. Which would bring up, that's why hopefully we'll start learning Tanya before Shachris and Elul. But Tanya seems to, you learned Tanya before davening, right? What did you used to learn? Oh, you used to. But that's what I would say as an eitzah. Because it's very hard to just sit there and be like, okay, I'll do the shehiyah. But I might get lost in my ADHD very easily. I set a time to just become crazy. Right? I don't want to set a time to invite more Michigans. I want to set a time to really, really use to help me with this inyan, the specific inyan that we learned right now. And there's a lot, especially in the literature of Chabad, the mitzvah of Ahavas Yisrael. We're going to learn one ma'amar. There are loads of stuff. You can open up a Rav Kook if you crack yourself behind the Hebrew, also. But there's plenty of material. That's what I think. Yali?
No, so I just think that the formulation of the Yechad is in Shalom.
Right.
The Rav said it also during, he didn't never say Shalom.
He said, the Rav Soloveitchik said Sim Shalom. Interesting. Maybe because of this Indian over here. Sim, because maybe like the end of davening is saying, Sim Shalom Tova Uvracha, Barcheinu Avinu Kulanu Ke'echad Yachad Bar Panecha. Okay, Hashem, I tried really hard, but please bring it even more into me that the only way that there could really be Shalom here is if I tap into this inyan of Kulanu Ke'echad. Kulanu Ke'echad. It's a real thing. The Akdama says it's Yesod HaMetziut. It's the foundation of our reality. And it's kedai, if that's the foundation of our reality, it's kedai to tap into what the foundation of our reality truly is. And that's why, Jeremy, I'm saying that this Indian of learning it makes the foundation of our reality more of a thing that I could hold on to in this world.
When you say I read in the Kabbalah, what does that do? What does that mean? I don't know.
Yes. Don't try to go too crazy with it. It's an active thing. I accept upon myself. You know, when I do chuppahs, I always freak the Eidim out like crazy. Whenever I call the two Eidim, you know, they're so excited. They have the schus. I'm like, okay, you guys realize that to give Eidus, is a very serious thing, right? Before you give testimony, right? It's like we look at it as like, oh, I'm an Eid. He's a Yid. It's a ring. Shavet Pruta. Ha ha ha. The rabbi says a joke. Everyone laughs. Is this you know? It's such a Kabbalah's Ol Malchus right at that moment of Kabbalah's Eidus. So I always take the two Eidim and I say, okay, so you makabel on yourselves right now to do tshuva shlema before you give Eidus, right? Because it's a very deep thing to give testimony on something. What does it mean to makabel on yourself? So in tshuva, there's a concept called Kabbalah al Haba, that I accept myself something for the future. Actively right now, I don't know how to implement that which I'm taking upon myself. But with tshuva, we have Kabbalah al Haba. So with Harini Mekabel HaMitzvahs is saying, She'v'ahavta lecha kamocha. What are we really saying? What is that like?
But I really want to live. I really want to do.
I'm accepting upon myself that this is something I'm going to be actively pursuing. So again, that connects to what you're saying. I don't say that when no one's around. I say it when it's before, when it's really before, when it's really right there, when the opportunity.
You can do it both times, but it's most important.
Exactly, when the opportunity is right in front of me. Yes.
It's a commitment. It's like a commitment.
It's a commitment, and I got to revisit that commitment every single morning because loving Yidden isn't a simple thing.
But yesterday, what we talked about, I think, resonated very strong with me that when something's bothering you that somebody else is doing, you don't really hate the person; you hate what they're doing. And if you're able to channel,
you forget that all the time.
Right, yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
You
so
forget
I think
that all
that's
the time.
something that I'm going to try to actively think about when I'm saying that already. It's not that I hate the person; I hate what they're doing and how.
Right, to be aware of that. You know.
That's got to be conscious, or you
It's a
I think
consciousness
there's no
level.
chance.
Sorry?
It's a consciousness level. Like, I did this run, about 2 nights ago I did this run, and like, I hit this level on the run where my consciousness went to a different level,
Right.
where like, all of my personal worries and all this stuff started to melt away.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just felt like I was sensing everyone else and me, but not on a level of just, I just went to another place. I went to another place in the middle of this run, and like I realized that if I'm stuck in this consciousness where I'm thinking about what other people and what they're bothering me and maybe what I'm doing, then I haven't gone to that next level where I realize that, I mean, there are multiple realities going on all the time, and you can tap in, if you do the work, you can tap into those realities.
Right.
So if I'm actually in the place where I'm actually feeling, like I don't like what this guy's doing, I don't like this, to me the work is that I'm still stuck on the reality where I'm not supposed to be.
Right.
Like I need to that stuff's going to be there. It's whether or not I can get out of it and transcend it and get to that next place.
But do you feel like there's any power to saying, I'm accepting upon myself? I'm conscious of the fact that that's going to happen?
Because when I'm running, the power is like I'm running and my heart's whatever.
Right.
And I have a physical, something that I did that got me there.
Right.
And I assume the same thing is through the learning is another way of
Right.
getting yourself to that place.
We're getting there. So where you see it, Yesterday, do you love? Yeah, for sure, I love it. Now you see what it is. It's much more than just this emotion that either shows up or doesn't show up. It's such a voda.
Because when you get there, then it's not work anymore. You're just there. It's no.
For the day.
I guess that's what Hashem is like. Hashem can create it. Like once you do the work and get there, then
there.
Hashem just gives it to you.
Yeah, we should be privileged to enjoy the work and be committed to the work. Bezrat Hashem. Shakach, everyone.
Jeremy.